All right, all right, all right, all right.
Good
Yes,
music.
ma'am. Yeah. The legend will
Yes.
live on. The legend will
As
live on.
we are live on Facebook, everyone, and we are actually just streaming the pages right now. Streaming to Caribbean American Diaspora and sharing to Caribbean Rhythms Radio Network along with Caribbean Diaspora and a couple more places. All right. Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
I think I just saw Mr. Desmond. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for
Welcome, welcome,
joining us.
welcome.
Peace, love, and blessings wherever you are. It is so needed. It
Hmm.
seems like in every corner of the world, every corner, we need peace, love, and blessings
For sure.
because we're feeling it in some kind of way wherever we are, I think, on this earth right now. So we
Hmm.
definitely need that. So thank you all for joining Caribbean Diaspora Vibes. My name is Donna Morton. I'm a real estate broker, Florida Summer Homes Realty, president of Caribbean American Diaspora, president of Women of Culture Incorporated, where we support women, children, and families affected by homelessness, incarceration, and trauma, mindset coach, entrepreneur, the traditional Jamaican woman, right?
Nice,
You have to
nice.
have enough hands and
Enough
enough
things
things.
are
Yeah,
going.
you have to have enough things to do to give
That's it,
back to
that's it.
this world and so many.
Yes,
And then
I
the thing
agree.
is the creativity. We can't get away from the creativity that just seems to flow, right? So the good thing is that we balance it and we manage it and funnel it out for good. So
Yes, yes.
welcome, Louis. How are you?
I am well. I'm well. I'm delighted to be here another evening. Just want to just big up all those out there in Radio Land, those who are listening, those who are watching this evening. We want to welcome you to this edition, the second day of December, right? Just start, kick off the month.
Mhm.
A lot of activity planned. This is a pack month, a big holiday month, or what we call in the vacation industry peak season.
Mm-hmm.
Peak, everybody come and everything is sky high, all prices, hotel room, or vacation condos, all of these things are make it peak season. And of course, we have the good weather, but we have the cold coming in between, a little bit of everything going on in Central Florida. Just want to take the time to welcome everybody. And Donna, I'm the president of everything.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the president of everything that I do in the community, in my business, in my home. You know,
Hmm.
as I said, we have to captain everything. We have to be the captain of the ship.
Yeah, I really think it kind of comes somehow naturally because we just kind of merge into these roles and take that leadership roles in a lot of ways. So it's definitely in the DNA.
Hmm.
All
Absolutely.
right, everyone. We want to welcome several amazing, talented professionals all the way from Jamaica.
All right.
Beautiful Jamaica
But
land we love. Yes, yes, yes. We were expecting three guests tonight. Attorney Sade O'Connor, but something came up, and so she's not going to be able to. She's going to come on another time. We had a wonderful conversation with her before talking about land, right, and the land rights, and people, didn't even know about the information about the squatters and so forth. But
yes.
tonight we're going to keep it tight, real short, like, hopefully 30 minutes. But if we run over, that's okay. We're going to talk about property insurance in Jamaica, all right? But tonight we want to hear about services that this brokerage, property insurance brokerage offers, and then we're going to talk about solutions because at this time with what's happened with Hurricane Melissa, people want to hear about solutions, right? That is the biggest key. And we need to understand how important property insurance is. Well, here in the US, that's a given for us normally,
Mm-hmm.
but because most of us probably have mortgages too, right? So it's tied in with our mortgage. But in many countries where people are even don't have a mortgage, property insurance is not even considered, right? So we want to bring emphasis to that, to bring that awareness of how important, because there's going to be persons now that did not have property insurance that are affected, even worse than those that obviously that had insurance. So let's introduce our two guests for tonight, Mr. Desmond Johnson, who is the CEO of Firm Insurance Brokers. Welcome. And then, of
Thank you.
course,
Thank you.
Brother Johnson, welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Yes.
love your backdrop too.
Thanks. Just selected it.
Oh, see, Louis, I was just telling you how quick you can just
Yes.
go in and
Yes.
select it, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And then we have Mrs. Tanya Barclay-Reid, who is the manager also at Firm Insurance Brokers. So we want to kick it off to you two amazing people. Tell us about your firm and the services you provide, and then we'll go into the hurricane relief talk regarding property insurance.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Good night to you and your listeners all over. So Firm Insurance Brokers Limited has been around since 1996, right? And I think next year we'll be celebrating our 30th anniversary. So we have been around a good while, but we have been quiet. So right now we want to load it up, especially on our 30th anniversary. So these are some of the shows that we want to be on and that people are aware of our expertise. We've been around. We've been doing life insurance, property insurance, employee benefits insurance, marine insurance, and aviation insurance. Any type of insurance, all commercial risk. Anything that is insurance, we are involved in. And so we are the ones who seek out on behalf of customers, whether you're in the States or in Jamaica, insurance needs. So while you're there, we can be the broker who will handle the insurance coverage, look for the best insurer, and recommend the best insurer, one who's strong and who's able to pay when the time is due. And also when it is claim time, you're in the States or you're in Jamaica, you're busy, we will handle it. Once we send the paperwork and everything to you, we are the one who will handle it on your behalf. So you can be rest assured that we, Firm Insurance Brokers Limited, will represent you while you cannot be able to come here. You just complete the documents, whatever you need to do. We will be the in-between guys who will handle whether the insurance or claim process. And so that is important because sometimes people go directly to the insurance company, but they do not understand the process. And then sometimes they can be taken for a ride because the insurance company might not necessarily have the time to explain to you, your rights and so forth, because they're the one who are going to pay. You have to come to a broker, a broker who will be able to assist you, who knows the system, and help you to get around to these claims. All right. So, Firm Insurance Company, solid, been around 30 years, and we are capable, and we are now partnering with the diaspora to help our Jamaicans all over the world who has properties here, motor vehicle, whatever you have, boats, yachts, small jets, we're able to cover it for you. All right. So Tanya now is going to introduce herself. She's the manager of the general insurance section that deals specifically with property insurance, all commercial risk, public liability, product liability, any type of insurance for businesses or corporate or residential. It's under her expertise. All right. So Tanya, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Tanya Barclay-Reid. I've been in insurance as long as Firm has been in insurance. It has been 30 years. I can't believe it. I've been in insurance for 30 years. My knowledge of insurance really my background started from claims. So of course, being now fully claims and underwriting, my forte is I wouldn't like to say I'm an underwriter. I prefer to say I'm a risk risk manager. So when I see a risk, I see all the possibilities that could happen. So I always look at a potential client or a potential property to insure or whatever it is as a risk, and how best we can cover that risk. As Desmond said, that we're a broker, and being a broker, we represent the client, and that is the difference between a client coming to a broker or going to an insurance company direct. When you go to that company direct, you get what that company offers. When you come to firm, we will scope the market and we will offer you what best suits your risk, what you can afford, and not just affordability, but what is best for your risk. And as well, right now, that is an important factor, bearing in mind that we're coming off Melissa and a myriad of things have happened, in terms of underinsurance and all of that we're going to go into. So what firm really does is that we look at we look at your risk, and we see how best we can cover that risk so that you will, as insurance say, give you peace of mind and put you back in the position you were before the loss. So basically, that's what we do, and that's what makes us a bit different from others. We look at your risk and we look what's best for you.
Wonderful. So risk assessment. Considering that, do you all have a ballpoint of who all of the percentage of people that had property insurance versus those that didn't? Is that out yet?
Oh, well, yes, I think Moody's posted something. I'm not sure as it relates to the accuracy, because they're saying about 20% of the residential properties in Jamaica are insured. And they're saying up to 95% of it is underinsured. That's the latest rating that came out following Hurricane Melissa. Based on what I'm seeing in the market, discussions with others, looking through, because as a person in the market, you would have to look around and see what is happening to be able to best advise your clients on what to do, what not to do, and stuff like that. And this information seems pretty accurate based on what we're seeing coming out. With the underinsurance part of it, the most alarming portion of it, that 95%. So basically, that is what is out now. I don't know, with all the claims coming in and all of that, if those figures will change, but they're saying 20% of the residential properties are insured and 95% of them are underinsured.
Yes, I'd like to add to that. Yeah, I'd like to add to that as well. So if I may. So we have seen where in the market generally people are underinsured, not just for property, but also for life and also for pension coverage. There is a chronic miseducation, and people do not understand the risk of not insuring your property. And so that data is very close to accurate, where majority of the residents are not insured. And therefore, when you do not insure, you're actually doing a self-insurance, right?
Right.
And then when these incidents happen, like a hurricane or earthquake or whatever, people find that they have to be paying for this out of their pocket. The underinsurance part is also another problem, where people have a mortgage or a second mortgage on their property, and they just insure for the mortgage value, or the banks or the financial institution ensure that they only insure for the market value. So they're not insuring for the full value of the property. So that is where the underinsurance comes in. And so even if there is a damage or a complete damage, then only the loan is taken care of, or a majority of the loan after the applied average clause. And then you would have to stand the rest, the other part, in building your property. So there's a need for education for persons to understand that they need to insure their property for the value of the property, and not just even the replacement cost, right? Not just the loan value that they have on the property and so forth. So that is where we need education, and persons also to ensure that they also, if you have a mortgage, and Tanya can speak to that you take out secondary coverage to ensure that you're top of the
But just to add to that, not only to at the get-go, at the initial stage, we see how the values are going. We see that the property market, the real estate market is booming. So not just to insure your property for the value, but each year to keep upgrading your sum insured. I mean, we're seeing now it's so diverse. You don't have to, persons would normally say to get a valuation, it would cost very costly. But we see now where there are persons who are doing valuations just for insurance purposes only. That's one. We have also partnered with someone who can do that. Two, we are seeing where persons, you can get the square footage of your property and you can find out what's the current value per square foot. And you can even have an idea, how the value of your property is going and say, boy, next year I can probably up it by 15%, 20%, stuff like that. So it's not just insuring it at the get-go for what its value, but maintaining that over the years. Because you have a lot of persons who start out with the correct sum insured, but stuff hasn't happened, and over the years, persons just keep going and going with the same sum insured. And, you find out after 2-3 years, you average now applies to your value. So, because the average is 85%. So it takes you nothing to go below that 15% marker. So it's not just insuring it for the value each year, but to ensure that you upgrade your value.
Right. Wonderful. Any questions, Lois? And
no, not at this point. I mean, I'm glad that we are discussing this subject because a lot of people really don't understand what goes on in terms of insurance in Jamaica. Obviously, and well, my question would be for you guys, and we know maybe not all the 14 parishes. Do you cover the 14 parishes in Jamaica? And is there a difference between parishes in terms of coverage?
Yes, we do. We cover the 14 parishes. We cover island-wide, so that will include once the property is here. And yes, the rate is not applicable based on which parish you are in, but it is mainly based on your proximity to like the river or a beach or, the construction of the property. Those are the driving factors, the occupation of the property. So those are mainly the driving factors as it relates to the rates of the property, of the insurance. It's not, it doesn't apply based on if you are in St. Elizabeth, in Kingston, or right. It's like your proximity to water.
Yeah. The high-risk areas.
Yes, what drives the risk? The occupation of the property and stuff like that.
All right.
Which is important to very similar, same concept here, right? Because if we are on the beach or the river, that homeowners insurance, the property insurance is going to be a whole different price versus when we're inland into like the Orlando, Miami may have a completely different risk factor, so very, very, and of course, what are you doing with the property? Are you using it for business? What kind of business are you doing? A lot of people have been doing Airbnb and stuff with the homes. All these things need to so it really is it's like you have to really do like business sense, even if you're just living in the home, even if you're not renting it out, you're not doing any of that. And the thing now is, so we have uninsured, which is more like 80% of the affected areas. That's a lot with no insurance. That means you are self-insured. Anything that happened to that property,
you're on your own.
You're completely on your own. Unless, we don't know what government subsidy and that's probably still going to be, minimum. So this is and then you can also be underinsured. So you have insurance, but maybe you just have it for the loan. But then what about all the bedrooms and everything that went, the furniture, the cars that were in, parked, everything. So now you could also be affected that way where you're underinsured and you got insurance for, a certain low amount, but then now that the value to
It's way
rebuild
down.
is,
Yes.
yeah. So all
Yeah.
these things. And so that's why it is important to check in regularly to make sure you are properly covered, because you might have gotten insurance 10 years ago and
Exactly.
the value would definitely have increased. And now to
Yes.
rebuild that same house, you only have 1/4% of the money now,
Exactly.
Correct. That's correct.
That's true. And I mean, the not insurance income and combining with the underinsurance is as if, the impact is so drastic. No, because I mean, with 80% of persons not insured and 95% of the 20% underinsured, is as if, that's
Yeah.
really a crisis. That's
That's a
definitely a
crisis. That's a
crisis.
big time crisis right there. And that's
Mhm.
what you've been saying, Tanya, that people need to upgrade, come back or
Yearly,
call in and upgrade yearly their
yearly,
policies, whether it's a
yearly.
car or whether it's the area that improve or whatever it is
Yeah.
that need to be added to the policy.
Even if you haven't done any improvement to the house, because there,
Mhm.
as I said, of late the real estate market is booming. So I mean, each year, most definitely, your property would not be valued what it was last year.
Right.
So people just have to keep upgrading each year. And I have something that I tell my clients when you give them the premium and they say, "Boy, it is so much, and I don't know if I can afford it." I said, "But can you afford to lose your house?" That's the question. You can't afford the premium? Okay, I hear you, but can you afford to lose your house? If your house is total or your roof is gone, can you afford to replace your roof? Can this premium, can 200,000 replace your roof? No. So if you look at it in that light, then you will just try your best and see how best you can pay the premiums, because most definitely the premiums cannot replace your roof or replace whatever damage there is to the property. So if you can't afford to lose it, you know it's a no-brainer. You really need the coverage.
So I want to add to that, let's segue into that. So this is what persons who are listening know, and if you know other persons who are your family members in Jamaica and elsewhere, that you need to ensure. This is a lesson that could have happened anywhere. That storm was initially heading to Kingston and Morant Bay and Portland side, and that could have been a problem. That's where most of the housing stocks are in Portmore and Kingston. So they now need to look at this because the last hurricane was 4 years ago, Tanya. I think it was 4 years ago, but it wasn't as category four. I think it was a lower level.
Lower level, the
But
lower
it's happening
level.
very often. So you need to ensure that you are covered, because this could have happened to the Kingston and the very populated areas. And so we
Yeah.
need to learn from this on a global level, and this is on a micro level now that people need to ensure and the impact of that. But on a macro level, this is going to be very impactful also for the government,
Impactful. Yeah.
because the slow recovery of persons who are without home, if they're employed, I know it affect their employment, or businesses that were damaged that didn't have insurance and didn't
Right.
have loss of business, loss of income, insurance, and those things. Those are affected as well. So not only the small and medium businesses that weren't properly insured, but also personal persons who weren't insured, residential. So it's a multi effect that now is going to affect the economy and give us a slowdown on that side of the country. And so government, of course, should also have policy in place to ensure that ensure that the banks, when people are taking loans,
Loans.
that they do not underinsure, they insure for the prop. Even though if you're taking the value of a loan, I just don't just look at the loan perspective. You also need to look at the entire coverage for those
Coverage. Right.
properties that you're going to insure. Businesses
Yeah.
as well who are
And
impacted need to have their business insurance as well. Go ahead, Tanya, you were saying something?
yeah, and not to cut you, but that's also a lot of persons. I think they don't know that when you're purchasing a property, you can take out a secondary cover to support your portion of the property. You can not, because the bank will insure their, you know, the amount they're putting up for the loan, and not necessarily the full value of the property, because they have the prerogative of insuring your life and insuring the loan amount. So you, as the, you know, as the owner of the home, should ensure that you cover your portion of the risk. So a lot of persons don't know that you can take out a secondary coverage in support of your portion that you carry of the value of your property, and you can upgrade that secondary amount, you know, each year. Eventually you can take over the entire policy coverage once you can prove to your lien holder that, hey, I have this insurance and this is the amount, you know, and give them the premiums have been paid, and this is the proof of the coverage. And in particular now, where in Jamaica we now have an integrated system where the banks and the insurance company will share information, so the banks can see that the property is covered. They can go on and see that the policy is enforced, the premium is paid, you know. So we have that intershare arrangement. So persons need to understand that not because the bank has a lien on the property and they have insurance, it's important to find out each year how much that insurance is, because you're paying the loan, your loan, you know, and their risk is going down. So your risk is increasing because your portion of it now becomes higher. So it's important for persons to know that you can go and purchase this secondary insurance. And the rate is actually a bit less than the current rate that you are carrying for the mortgage portion.
So my question to you, Tanya, is that at the time of closing that house, that property, is that insurance agent or company, is that a requirement or no for them to explain all of that detail? So I can have, if I'm buying a house, I will know at the end of the day or before the closing that I have the option. Is that something that is available before closing to the owner?
To be honest, I'm not certain. From time to time, I'm not certain. Persons would come and say they're purchasing this property and they want to insure it for the loan amount, you know, and we will explain to them, because as I said before, we look at the risk. We don't just look at what you come to us to insure. We show you your risk and we say, listen, you come to do this, but we think this, you know, this would be better for you. You know, so we do tell persons, but to be honest with you, oftentimes I'm not sure everybody is you know, educated enough to know that, you know, that is available.
Right, so that is an option that we would give them, but not to force them, but they need to be aware of the option and they can decide after.
Yeah, what to do
if they want that option.
So the big question is, Brother Desmond, where do you guys start from here with the, for people who are listening, to say maybe they have a house in Jamaica in St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, and it just gone. Where do people start with you from here?
Well, you can find us
on... Where do you guys start?
So we are on Facebook and Instagram, and we have a page, firminsurancebroker's.com. We can share, I think we have shared it with Nadia, who is the officer, the public relationship officer for the diaspora. And so we can also make it be known by the public who's listening now that we're at firminsurancebroker's.com. You can reach us online, and you can request a quote online, send us information, and we'll reach out to you. It's easy as that, right? So there is an option there to request a quote.
On our website,
On our website.
You can visit the website, and there's an option for you to select whichever coverage you need, and you can obtain the quotation by just selecting whichever coverage. Or if you're not sure what coverage you need, you can always put in the information and send the contact, and somebody will be in touch with you right away to, you know, advise you on the quotation.
For people who were not, didn't have a coverage with you at this point, how does it work when, okay, I have somebody, for example, in Westmoreland, say, St. Elizabeth right now, the roof is gone. I know they don't have the money to put it back and all of that stuff. can that person pick up now and get to you, start a new membership, and you got taken care of in terms of the damage?
Sorry, I didn't hear you just now. I think you.
No, so what he's saying, Tanya, is that if somebody who have lost their roof, they can come in now and do an insurance. You'd have to, you can carry through that process, Tanya, because I don't think you can actually insure with a damaged place.
No.
So right, go ahead, Tanya.
Yes, they would have to carry out the repairs.
Yes.
Right, they would have to carry out the repairs, and make the property somehow livable. Or I think what we could do is give them if they put back the roof on, probably there could be a lesser coverage because, and give them a time frame as to how they can go back with full coverage. So for example, if it's a business place, they can get probably an all risk cover for while the repairs is being done, and when it's completed, they can reinstate the full coverage. So we can provide them with temporary, coverage whilst it's being repaired, but not in the state of not being repaired.
I got you. Yeah, we're just checking because a lot of people need some avenues.
Well, that's the thing. It's one of those things you can't go back. And the thing is that we know a lot of properties, right, was passed on through generations, passed down, right? And so that's not even on your mind to think about insurance. And who would ever think that it would come to this kind of point where everything gone, so. And then one thing that I did hear about too, I'm not sure how correct that is that some people don't have insurance because some of the board homes were on squatters' land, and so they didn't pursue anything legally because then of that route.
No title.
Yeah, there's no title and no proof of ownership. Yeah.
I know we're really talking about property insurance, but another thing to consider is that with persons who want to insure their property, they can also get some level of contents insurance, for free to an extent, for a really lesser coverage if they cover the property and, their basic contents. So it's not just for the property. They can cover also their basic content, at a cheaper cost when they do insure the property. We cannot have that.
That's like your bed and your sofa and all them things.
Yeah, furniture and
easy
stuff.
Furniture.
Your immediate furniture, yeah.
Yeah.
You should include the motor vehicles as well, Tanya. That's the
motor vehicle, yes. So it's all one coverage, then eventually somebody can get that full coverage with cars, every single thing in the house.
Right. We can do your entire portfolio at a discounted rate because coincidentally, a lot of the Melissa claims are also flood vehicles, not flood house alone. So it's like a double effect.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely saw that. The
lost house and the cars, everything,
furniture, everything.
Everything.
So unfortunately, 20% of persons affected were not insured, and then
80%.
Yeah, 80%. Correct that, 80%, and then 95% of the persons that had insurance, the 20% that had insurance or under did not have enough coverage. And we have to also think about not just hurricanes, but any disasters, earthquakes,
anything,
fire, anything
at all. And so businesses as well. We're talking about residential.
Yes, residential,
Businesses that we cover business for personal accidents and for these sort of things. Loss of income.
Business interruption, which is
business interruption, right?
That persons don't look at.
Yeah.
I mean, that coverage is available. It can cover your loss of your profits. It can give you temporary operation while your business is down. A lot of persons don't look at that. But those coverage, it seems very so critical now. I mean,
yes.
You could pay your employees while the business
you're waiting to repair.
Yeah, for a month or two, if you had that kind of coverage, you know. So there are so many options, so many options.
Yeah. So it's important that insurance is considered as a part of wealth creation, is a part of protecting your wealth. Protecting your wealth is your property, protecting your life as well in case you lost life and you have family members who rely on you. You need to have insurance on your own self. Key man insurance, employee benefits cover. These things are important for businesses and for people to have in place because it's important. We see insurance as a sinking fund, but it is not. It's actually in order to protect your wealth so that you have worked so hard to invest in property, your own security, and then you lose it because you don't have insurance because of disaster. It helps you to protect what you have worked for 30 years or more and that you intend to pass down to the next generation.
Right.
It's not protected, so you need to. It's a risk management for your personal self and for your business to have the insurance to protect you from losing what you have built over so many years. To restart with self-insurance is not really a good risk because we do not know when these events will occur, and so we encourage persons in the diaspora and to tell your family members in Jamaica to take insurance. If you can't afford it, then we will help you to find some form of coverage, as Tanya had said before. You can't get full cover. At least you have something to cover rather than none at all.
None at all.
We will guide you for businesses, for residential, and for your very important property. You have a yacht out there, you know, get caught in a hurricane at the sea or small craft, you know, aircraft or something. We do that. All right, so come and seek firm. We are the expert. We will guide you. You can reach out to us on the website as Tanya has given you, firminsurancebrokers.com. Section there to request a quote, whether for commercial, residential property, or life insurance, you know, US cover or local, or for your employee benefits, you know, their pensions, their life or health insurance. We do that. We do everything. We are all about insurance. Reach out to us. We will reach out. We cover you whatever you want. We cover you right down to insurance.
So you cover persons, you cover
everybody. Dogs and cats, not dogs and cats. No, we don't reach dogs and cats as well. Pets. That's not yet in Jamaica.
There is pet insurance. Yes, there is pet insurance.
There's pet insurance now. Yeah.
Yes, there is. There is pet insurance.
I didn't know that. So we have some pet insurance from. Who is it? Canopy?
I think it's attached to your house, though. It's attached to your yes. You can cover the personal effects. I mean, you can attach it to your motor vehicle insurance.
So if the dog die, you replace the dog?
No. We give you a last something to cover.
We don't replace the dog, but if your dog dies, there is pet insurance.
So how that worked? Come on,
now you know, Louis. Animals are very expensive, even for care.
Take care of them, man.
Yes.
That's care.
That's like for a child.
Like a child.
Yes.
Grooming and regular as doctor visit.
Yes.
So it's important, yeah.
To those that does not have enough coverage or did not have any coverage, because the battle is going to be uphill, but we do know that Jamaica's received a plethora of assistance, of love, of support in so many ways. So I'm not sure what the government has in mind. I've heard about container. Would you guys also insure the container homes?
Sure, we insure anything and everything. It's their homes, you know. And once it is a property, something that's belonging to you of value, we do insure it.
Yep. And equipment, once you have a serial number, show proof of ownership.
We can insure it. We can get insurance for it. We can.
So you said proof of ownership. So that maybe that was a deterrent then. So if someone had a home and let's say whether it was, well, I guess if it was passed on to the generations, you would have had title. But if it was some like land, squatters' land,
that wouldn't work.
Would those people be able? No, so that would not work.
No.
Okay, so you have to have proof of ownership.
Yes, because in the event of a loss, who do the insurance company pay? So that will come into play there. You know, who do they pay? So if you can't prove that you own it, we can't pay you. They can't pay you.
All right. All right. So wonderful information tonight. We talked about risk, right? Property, insurance, like life insurance based on your age and your health and etc. Well, property insurance is based on the use, if you're close to water. Flood is probably going to be a big thing now, and assessing even if you were flooded out. Do you now need flood insurance? Is that something that you offer now?
I hear that for Jamaica, the property, the common HOC homeowners, or the common commercial all risk policy that covers it. It doesn't specify. So any, I don't like to say act of God, but flooding, hurricane, earthquake, I mean, those things are normally covered. Flooding can also be, you have a burst pipe at home and it floods the house, that's also covered. So flooding, it's not just from you can a hurricane or something like that. So all those stuff are covered under a comprehensive homeowners or comprehensive commercial all risk or fire policy.
The individual wants to go back and build in a certain place, because we've seen some homes that have been underwater.
I don't think. All right, so they can go back and build, but to get somebody to cover that risk, it's going to be extremely challenging. It's going to be extremely challenging.
At that same spot, yeah.
It is going to be. It is going to be, because I don't think you'll be able to prove that, hey, this was just a one-off event. It's a possibility that you ought not to be building there in the first place. So, we can't contend with the authorities to say, well, you have already built there, so we're going to insure it, So, and I think that's what the government will be looking at, because I see they're now saying that they're going to review the building codes. So, hint, a lot of things are going to, are going to be happening. Persons are not going to be allowed to build certain places anymore, so they're going to really look at that too. Right. So, I don't think it's gonna to just go and build anywhere anymore.
Especially if it's flooded, right? Because it wouldn't, it makes sense to go back and build, and then next year,
right.
God forbid.
So that's going to be a factor now. I mean, the building codes definitely, they will be looking at those, with a view of, you can't build there, you can't build a 2-story, can't build, there are going to be restrictions. There are going to be changes. And the insurance company, of brokers, the companies, all of us will have to just follow suit as it relates to the relevant authorities.
Right. There are times that happens after disasters. Here in Florida, we had the condos and stuff in Miami area, which affected everybody else with condos after one disaster happened. So that's part of life. But it is critical, if you have a home, to get it insured, to speak with professionals, experts, and that can guide you and reason with you and, explain. They can't force you, right? They can explain. And so again, we're going to close out by having them tell you again where to contact firm insurance brokers, whether it's a phone number, website, Facebook page. So Tanya, you want to give us that information?
Yes, our website and Facebook page and Instagram page have all the contacts. It has all the WhatsApp lines. We have the general WhatsApp line. We have underwriting WhatsApp line, claims WhatsApp line. We have our email address, Instagram account numbers. You can send a message. I mean, there are so many ways you can contact us when you go on the website or Instagram or Facebook. So you can just contact us and say, hey, I'm interested in this. I will just give you a call. An underwriter will give you a call, listen to you, assess your risk, and probably visit too, because oftentimes we tend to want to see the risk that we are insuring. Yes. Right. So, you just visit any one of our Instagram websites or Facebook page and reach out to us and we will contact you.
All right. Firm Insurance Brokers with an
W-
S.
with an S. www.firminsurancebrokers with an S.com, or you can visit our Instagram page or Facebook page.
Firm Insurance Brokers.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful information. Thank you for educating us
Yes.
on this process and for, again, for, you know, life insurance, for property insurance, business, cat, dog, everything, everything that you care.
Yachts and airplanes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we're your one-stop shop. We like to say we're a one-stop.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I appreciate you all for taking the time, and hopefully we you know, enlighten some and educated individuals. We can't turn back time. Some people were probably said I should have called, you know, Desmond or, you know, Firm Insurance Brokers, but I meant to call, but we're here now. So going forward, property insurance is critical. Wherever you are and you're listening, you have a home. If you want to pass that on. Some people had just finished building. Hopefully they had proper coverage. So,
some coverage. Some.
Yeah, I need to add to that. You can start insuring from the start building.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
right. Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Caribbean Diaspora Vibes. And we give thanks for Firm Insurance Brokers, Mr. Desmond and Mrs. Tanya, for educating us and, you know, about Melissa efforts and future. Again, earthquakes, flooding, anything, act of God, right? So with that, we want to say one love and blessings. Louis?
Thank you.
One
Thank you
love.
for having us. And
Yeah, thank you again, Brother Desmond and
Yes, thank you.
Tanya. And we look forward to get another update pretty soon.
Sure.
Maybe another couple of months or another month again.
Whenever you want.
Yeah,
we'll
reach
out to Nadia and she get to us and we'll be available. All right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Big up, Nadia.
Okay.
Have a good one, guys.
All right.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Have a great night.
You
Yes.
too.
Excellent. Thanks.